Hey, buddy. Papa, are you my papa? Be my papa. Come to papa.
All right, man, you want to get it rolling?
Fuck yeah, get it rolling. Snap for me.
All right, I'm recording. Here we go.
Yes, sir. That's the way the cream crumbles.
That's 4 snaps for you, baby.
It's Sunday again.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday.
Getting that cream.
I want the cream. Give daddy that cream.
Getting that cream. Getting that cream.
Brace yourself for the cream.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to yet another f***ing episode of CPS. My name is Josh, and with me, as always, is the cream bandit himself, Dirty Rick and the boys. Rick, talk to me, baby. How are you on this fine Sunday afternoon?
I have a conundrum. I'm
What is that?
wondering, you ever see these competitions where they throw little people? How far do you think you can throw a little person? Let's start it right out the gate. Let's get it going.
Well, how little is the person? We talking dwarf? We talking midge? What are we doing?
I don't know, man, because so how much does a little person weigh? I mean, like 50 pounds? I don't know. I don't even know.
I think a little person is a generalization. I mean, they probably range, there's probably a whole midget range, like from 50 to 100 pounds. I mean, they're dense. Those are dense.
I don't know. I mean, you ever see like that? Those are like early internet videos of like people doing like dwarf tossing and stuff like in Europe, and I don't know, man. I feel like that's up there with maybe not an Olympic sport, but I mean putting on like ESPN 8 the Ocho or something.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing out.
They actually they do that on ESPN. It's funny. They do like an ESPN Ocho version of sports. There's like pogo stick and dodgeball and stuff.
I remember in high school you did that the liftoff with Steve, and you guys like pushed a pickup truck, and you guys I think I don't know what else you guys did. You guys just did like basic lifts and shit. But you ever do like a competition where you see how far you could throw like a cinder block or like chuck a rock or something?
No, like the world's strongest man.
Yeah. Just kind of around the backyard with your friends, just seeing like, oh, let's see how far I can throw this keg, something like that.
No, we never used to do stuff like that. But I mean, it's cool. But we used to play this game called Trash Can. And we had this old plastic trash can that's the shape of like one of the metal ones.
Yeah.
And we lived on this, remember when I lived on Swamp Road, we had that giant hill?
Yeah.
So we would put the trash can over somebody and they would run down the hill and we'd beat the shit out of them when they're in the trash can. And if they could make it to the bottom without falling over, they won. And that was the game. We'd get like baseball bats and I'd like drop kick Bailey when he was in that thing, send him tumbling down the hill.
That's so... Examples like that are why people today are so damn soft, because people just don't do shit like that anymore.
Yeah, like that was what we did for fun. We're like, hey, put that trash. Mostly, I just wanted an excuse to beat up my little brothers when they're in a trash can, and I would just send them rolling down that hill. And then, of course, when I put the trash can on, they're half my size, so I would just run into them, bashing them. It was good times. It was good.
You ever have the like the Rock'em Sock'em rope, or not the robots, but the
Sock'em
like the
boppers,
the inflatable gloves, or
Sock'em boppers,
or just like my parents actually got us real boxing gloves, and we beat the crap out of each other a couple times, and they took them away.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Well, because Owen's 5 years younger than I am, so yeah, I mean, I'd be towering over and beating the shit out of him, and it's like it got to be a bit much.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna beat up my sister with fat boxing gloves. I'll go freaking bare knuckle for that.
I never hurt my brothers intentionally, but we would roughhouse.
Yeah, we used to do wrestling moves on each other. Me and Clive used to do like suplexes to each other. He used to be able to lift me up when he was like a little bit younger. We were like basically about the same size his whole childhood, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, he's a giant human.
Yeah, he's a big man.
A big old man. That's a big ginge right there.
Yo, so you texted me the other day about the movie Tusk?
Yeah, you ever see that?
Yeah, dude. Did you just watch it for the first time?
No, I watched it when it first came out, but I only watched it once, but I didn't know if you had seen it or not.
Oh, yeah, I saw it a while ago. I remember it was on some type of streaming service. Maybe it was even Netflix, I don't know, but it was I kind of tricked Emily into watching it, and then I kind of like scared the crap out of her. It's like it turns so quick, dude.
Yeah, it gets real weird, especially at the end when so the movie is, what's his name? Is it Shia LaBeouf? LaBouffe?
No, it's Jason.
Oh, the
Long?
other guy.
Jason Long.
That's right. I always get them confused for some reason. But
No, fuck that shit.
We made it. We hit the 5-minute mark, you fucking cunts.
You asshole.
yeah, he gets abducted basically by this guy, and the guy turns him into a walrus. He like cuts up his body and makes him into a walrus. And then it's fucking at the end, it's him as a walrus. It's really gross.
What was the name of his shit, what was it? It was like a radio station or something. Oh, the Nazi party, NOTSEE party.
Oh,
So they made him out to be a dick from like the first scene. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have a Nazi party." It's like, "Oh Jesus, dude, this is already going this way." So you don't really feel bad for like when he comes to eating dinner and he's like, "Oh, my legs are gone," and then the guy's like, "Yeah, you got bit by a tarantula." It's like, what? He's like, "No, but my legs are gone," and then he goes, "No, here, you should like go back to sleep." And then he wakes up and his arms are gone. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah, it's hilarious.
That was fucking dark, man.
Yeah, that was dark. I don't remember any of the Nazi stuff, but yeah, what a great movie. So, dude, I'm sick of the acoustics when I record for the pod. Every time I listen to it, like, you always sound great on your end, and I always sound echoey as a motherfucker. So what I did was I put all my shit into the closet. So I'm in the closet right now with this tiny little space, and there should be not much natural reverb in this room. So I should have pretty damn good quality vocals this week. I mean, I hope so. I'm fucking surrounded by pillows. I got like 2 fucking feet to move in here. It's tighter than a dolphin's ass.
I mean, my setup. I mean, I'm sitting around like my basement is just in shambles right now. I shot a music video earlier last week and I never cleaned up.
Yeah.
And when I came down to do laundry today, it's like, holy shit! I got like at least like 45 minutes of like, all right, drop everything and just clean, because there is just lights and fucking cameras and green screens and monopods taped to other monopods. It's a fucking mess down here, dude. I don't know. Maybe that's the acoustics. Maybe you just need a bunch of film gear to fucking block your sound for you.
Yeah. You just need more stuff around, I guess.
I don't fucking know. I mean, it's just concrete walls down here though, so I don't know.
No, you sound good. I think it's just whatever. Maybe the ceilings are tall or something where I am. I don't know. But yeah, should be good this week. Fucking, it better be. I'm in this goddamn coffin. I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind. I open the fucking closet door and it's gonna be dark outside. I've just been in here screaming in the closet like a fucking maniac. But yeah.
So going back to the Tusk thing, you ever see like Human Centipede back in the day?
Of course.
Yeah, that was.
Actually, no, I never watched it, but I know of it and I know that it was a big thing, and I saw the South Park about it, but I never saw the actual movie. I was like, why would I watch that? Gross.
Yeah, because that was, I'm trying to think what that, because I remember I watched that in Wisconsin. I don't remember if that was like when I was visiting for like a summer or something or not, but I remember I watched Human Centipede and then I watched Teeth in the same night, and it was fucking weird. You know what Teeth is about?
Yeah, this chick's got teeth in her vagina.
Yeah, and it just like bites dudes' dings off. It's fucking terrifying. It's pretty scary, but I don't know. It was weird to watch that as like I don't know. I was probably like 13 when I watched that.
Oh man, could you imagine teeth in a vagina? Gross.
Yeah, that's hopefully they're using Colgate here or some mouthwash.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Fucking, that is terrifying. How does somebody come up with that? They're like, well, dude, what if this chick had like teeth in her pussy and like bit guys' dicks off with it? And somebody's like, you know what? Here's $1 million. I want you to make that happen.
Here's a lot of money.
Like, what the fuck?
You remember a couple years ago during the what was the World Cup or something? Something was in like Africa, like some sort of like soccer events, and they were giving out these things to all these women because all these women were being sexually assaulted. And basically it was like a diaphragm but had like jagged teeth on it. So if like a dude wants to go her, which you'll have to block out, you'll have to beep that out in post, but it would like get stuck, and the only way you could take it off is by going to a doctor, and then they have to cut it off, and then you get arrested because you tried to rape somebody.
I have heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess that was a big issue when they had like the whole world there, and like people were just like getting swallowed up, dude. It was awful.
Dude, it's horrible what goes on in this fucking dark ass world that we live in. Like the sex trafficking stuff and the human abduction and human trafficking is wild. Like there's a lot that even happens in the United States that we don't know about. It's just under the radar. It's just people getting kidnapped every day.
Yeah, I feel like it's It's not very often, but I mean, when you see like a storage unit full of people or like a shipping container and they open it up and it's got like 80 dead bodies or something, it's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
My word.
That's the reality though, man. That's the fucking world we live in.
Yeah. Let's say somebody dies next to you in a storage unit and you're starving to death. You eat them?
I don't think I would have the balls to.
Yeah. I think, well, if it was me, I wouldn't kill them and eat them. But if they're already dead, I mean, I probably would to survive. I would want somebody to eat me if I died. As long as they didn't kill me to do it, you know?
I don't know. I think I'd be so disoriented that I wouldn't, because everybody would be so close to death. If people would start dropping like flies and you're just like eating out of like, I mean, I would understand it if you're like the last person on earth. Well, I guess by that point it doesn't matter because you're going to die anyways, but
right.
I don't know. That's a goddamn good question, J-Man.
Yeah, I do it.
You got me fucked up on a Sunday.
Yeah, fucked up on a Sunday. Oh, by the way, we should do that segment. It's been a few minutes now. We're going to try a new segment, and it's called Facts, right?
Yep, facts. Drop the facts.
All right.
It's cream pie fact time.
Welcome to the Cream Pie Sunday. Girls Fact of the Week.
Shiny.
In the United States, every year, according to the Hot Dog Sausage Council, Americans consume an average of 20 billion hot dogs a year. That works out to about 70 hot dogs per citizen. Yeah, that's a lot of dinks to go down pipes. And that's on average. So that means some fuckers are crushing 142 hundo in a year.
Yeah, so me and Emily went out and picked up dog shit on Saturday morning, and she had an old scale that we were throwing away, and I basically used that to weigh the amount of shit we had. We had 52.6 pounds of dog shit.
Wow. Hold on. You okay. You got to further explain this to the people, the city folks out there that don't understand. You pick up all your dog shit at once. They're thinking like this is one load.
A little background story. We had 2 little dogs, and obviously the whole backyard is pretty much all snow and ice all winter. But yeah, we didn't pick up poop for 3 months, and yeah, it got pretty nasty. But put that into a equivalent. So a 50-pound bag of grass seed covers 10,000 square feet. And I had 52.6 pounds of dog shit. So if that dog shit was pure manure and it was basically grass seed, I would have the freshest lawn in the land. Talk about a blown opportunity.
That was your Cream Pie Sunday gross fact of the week.
Oh no, are you talking about old cartoons? I like Blue's Clues. I fucked with Blue's Clues until they fired that Steve guy and replaced him with Joe. And they said Steve went to college, but that's bullshit. And then they replaced Joe with an Asian dude, and he's been doing it. It's still on.
Did he end up eating blue or eating pinky or magenta or whatever the hell her name was?
Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's funny.
They make him more like culturally like progressive by like allowing the Asian guy, and then they're like, where the hell did they go? And they just like go to the back room and he's just like eating this dog.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. I know he's an American Asian guy, so he's just Asian. But it'd be funny if he was like, "Oh, welcome to Brews Cruise."
Oh my goodness!
Today we eat the brew.
Yeah, so I've been editing. Like I said, I shot a video last week, and I've been editing on and off. But the movie, typically I put a movie on the TV, and then I sit in my like little chair upstairs and I do some editing. But I've been crushing through the. It was first Pitch Black, and then The Chronicles of Riddick, and then Riddick.
Yep.
Because those are all on Netflix. I'm on the last one now, but those movies, I mean, I only look up every couple minutes because I'm usually pretty zoned in when I'm editing, but goddamn, those movies must be fucking awful because I'm watching it and it's like, this looks so stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I kind of feel silly for even having it on in the background. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Especially the older ones. They're corny as hell. What was that other one
yeah.
that came back recently that was, fuck, what was it? Shit, they just remade it or something. The one with Pinhead. He's got all the pins in his head.
Oh, Hellraiser?
Hellraiser. Yeah, there was that series. Is for some reason, I think of that when I think of Riddick, too. Maybe because I saw him at the same time, but...
I've never seen that.
It's weird and really corny. But
is that a series or is that a movie?
It's a series. Yeah, and they remade it recently, but they kind of changed it a little bit. I don't really remember the whole gist of it, but it's about, I don't know. but it's weird.
Well, that's like even earlier. I saw they're gonna do the whole Harry Potter thing again. They signed it over to HBO, and they're gonna do like a season based off each of the books from the series.
What?
And like recast the whole thing. And
No
yeah,
shit.
dude, Harry Potter's gonna freaking make another $1 trillion fucking dollars.
Yeah, dude, poor fucking J.K. Rowling got booted from her own franchise because she said that women have rights.
What an idiot!
Canceled.
What a loser. Yeah.
Canceled.
No, it's the whole trans thing. She got booted. And I just actually, it's funny we talk about Harry Potter. I just finished the Hogwarts Legacy game on PS5.
Yeah,
Decent game. Pretty good game for sure. But as like the whole backlash that she's gotten shit for the whole trans thing, because
Canceled.
she basically doesn't have a problem with trans people. She just, I think what she said was, you know, women have a right to have their own spaces or whatever, and she doesn't like the women and competing in men competing in women's sports thing
Canceled.
or whatever. But they're like going overboard now with the Harry Potter game to make sure that people are aware that it's trans friendly. Like there's trans characters in the game. There's like, it's funny because it's a video game, so it's all fake looking. There's this person that looks just like a chick that literally talks like a dude.
Canceled.
And she's like, that was before I knew I was a witch and not a wizard. It's like fucking weird. And then you can pick like you can pick your gender, like you create your own character for the game, and you can like pick your pronouns and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, well this is definitely just like, you know, to try and convince people that's not transphobic. But it doesn't matter anyways. The fucking game made a shitload of money.
I might have brought this up a couple pods ago, but did you ever have the Harry Potter, like the jelly beans, where like they would have random flavors, and you'd have like puke or armpit or blood or what? They'd have like weird like real flavors, and I thought that was the weirdest shit. I tried them all, dude. I was pretty weirded out, but yeah, those are kind of cool back in the day.
All that stuff, like eating gross stuff, has always really grossed me out. You know,
Yeah.
Like the people that would eat like the lollipop that had like the spider in it. You ever see those?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, stuff like that, or they'd like eat the booger flavored jelly beans from Harry Potter. Like anything that's booger flavored. Like just the thought of people eating actual boogers, let alone fake boogers, grosses me the fuck out. Skeeves me out. I'm not interested, man. Nasty shit.
That's even like scroll. I haven't seen it in a while now, but like the deep fried spiders of like little people in like foreign countries eating shit on sticks. It's like, God, I can only watch that for like half a second, and then it's seared in my brain, and then just like scares the crap out of me. I wouldn't do very good if I went to like a Thailand or like a Japan, and I was to eat some like just random something with like a pulse on the side of the road. Like, no, thank you, dude.
Yeah, nasty, dude. Don't go to Australia. They got spiders there the size of fucking frisbees.
I feel like that's reason not to go. You know, I would freak out, dude.
Could you imagine? Like, something comes crawling out of the bush, the brush. It's like a spider the size of a fucking small dog.
that skeeves me out just thinking about it, man. I mean, you ever see Eight-Legged Freaks back 20 years ago?
Hell yeah.
Dude, I watched Arachnophobia growing up, and that movie scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like a specific scene. There was a guy eating like a bowl of popcorn, and it was like a glass see-through bowl, and he had like a full bowl, and there was like a tarantula on the bottom of the bowl, and then it cuts to another scene, and it cuts back to him, and the guy's just leaning back with his eyes open, and the tarantula like climbs out through his freaking nose hole. Holy crap, dude! I saw that when I was like 8 years old, and I can't get it out of my goddamn mind.
Yeah,
I just every time I hear that movie, I just think about that. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. You like that imprint when you're a kid, something that fucks you up, like sticks with you for life. You know, I was always scared because the first movie I saw that was scary was a movie called What Lies Beneath. You ever seen that?
No.
Okay, it's about this dude that murders this chick and throws her in a lake or something. I don't remember the actual details, but it's not even that scary of a movie. But I was way too young to watch it, and I watched it, and so I was terrified, and so I was like afraid of lakes for a couple of years. You know,
I remember. I mean, even growing up, there was a game on the PlayStation 1. It was called Medieval, and it was on a freaking like a demo. This is how old we are. It was on a demo disc for PlayStation 1 back when it would have like 8 games for like 5 minutes worth of playing each. And it was called Medieval, and you were like a skeleton in like medieval times, and just like the premise and like the sound and all the, like the flashing colors and shit. I was a little kid. I couldn't even play the freaking demo. I was so scared. I'd like put it into my PS1. I'd start playing it. I'd freaking shut the TV off because I'd start skeeving out as like a freaking like a little kid. It's like, what the hell am I doing, dude? Holy crap!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that was PS1. The graphics weren't even that good yet. Now they've got fucking games. Like if you play like some of those VR horror games, dude, woo, they'll fucking make you shit your britches. I've tried a couple of horror games with the Oculus, and you know, you got actual zombies coming at you, and it's you tried VR. I showed you my VR before, right?
Yeah, that's I've only done it with you realistically.
Yeah. But you don't realize how real everything looks until you put one on to somebody that's never put on a VR headset.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand it looks 3D, you know? It looks like...
Yeah.
Imagine, like, that with zombies and imagine that with giant spiders coming at you. Woo!
No, thank you.
Yeah. Spiders don't really freak me out.
Jesus.
I kind of like spiders. I think they're kind of cool. Obviously, like, you know, I don't want to get bit, but it's kind of funny that there's something in certain people that are afraid, like there's some people are afraid of snakes. I don't know, it's something in the DNA or whatever of human beings. Like, there's just all these fears that people have. Like, some people are terrified of spiders, some people are terrified of snakes. What is it in like your genes that makes you do that, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's funny how you say that, like, I could get scared by something like a PS1 graphic, but like even back in the day, I mean, Resident Evil for PlayStation 1, that scared the crap out of a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But even before that, I mean, I remember seeing like side scroller, like Super Nintendo games for like Friday the 13th. And you got to think the people that actually played those games with like the lights down and candles lit and shit, they must get so into it that would scare the crap out of them. Like when all of a sudden the screen just flashes like Jason's face and they're like, damn it. You know?
Yeah.
Like back when they're playing like early 90s, like just regular like 2D shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could not
think about
imagine
it.
being scared ever, like actually scared for a game that's like third person 2D. You know what I mean? Like Mario style. I mean, maybe just because I never played something scary when I was a kid that was like that. But how do you convince, like, at least in like a 3-dimensional game that's first person, it kind of looks like real life in a way, like watching a movie, you know, from a perspective of a human. But
Yeah.
if you could see everything around you in like a 2D image, that doesn't translate to what the real world looks like. So I couldn't imagine myself being afraid of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to break it down even further, imagine people reading books where all of a sudden they get like so worked up in a story or so up in information
Yeah.
where like it gives
Yeah.
you the same experience, dude. I mean, people, I mean, that's why they banned books. You know, I've probably read a book or two that was, I think I read it was like a Jewish mouse. It was about the Holocaust, but that was banned by a lot of like universities. And my professors had us like read it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it was
in
called
college,
Mouse,
and it was
actually.
kinda stupid.
Wasn't it? It was called
Mouse,
Mouse.
that's what it was.
Yeah, MAUS
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a comic book style
Yeah.
book, but it was
About
kind
the
of cool.
Holocaust.
But
Really good.
then like
I've read it.
a
Really
couple
good.
years afterwards, I see the whole thing about like how they're banning it, and it's like why
Yeah.
why I don't understand this, dude. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. Like people get so wrapped up in information, and but just to bring it back, people get scared
Yeah.
of books. You know, like the whole Goosebumps and all that shit.
Yeah.
Not that I could read back then, anyways.
No, books can be scary for sure. For sure. I mean, Stephen King is the king of horror novels, you know? And he's got some books that are creepy as hell. Some fucked up books, man. Like he would just do fucking blow and drink a whole case of Budweiser and just write Cujo, fucking blacked out. The most fucked up things you could possibly imagine. Now he's a weird fucking old man that lives in Maine and just tweets about Trump all day.
Yeah.
But he was a genius, man. He's got some great stories. He has such range too. Like, you know, the Green Mile, all the way to
Yep.
Shawshank Redemption. You know, to like everything. Like, you know, The Shining. The Shining book is way better than the movie. He actually hated the movie. He doesn't like any movies that get remade that are
Yeah.
based on his books. But The Shining book is so much different than the movie. You know, like the book, he goes insane throughout the story. He starts to lose his mind, you know, but the movie, he kind of starts out a little bit crazy already, you know?
Yeah.
He's not really normal from the jump. So,
We're just gonna stick with the theme here. So like even going back into like back when I used to sit on the internet all the time. I don't do it anymore, but
back when you used
Like,
to sit on it.
sit on the internet.
Yeah.
And when you sit at the freaking desktop family computer instead of freaking phones. Jesus Christ.
mhm.
But I remember like seeing like just pictures used to scare the crap out of me. Like
Yeah.
like somebody would like Photoshop like a whole like you would be going through like creepy pastas on like the deep web of like the like just the internet and shit, and you see like people like photoshopping in demons or ghosts or like spirits or like or hell even
Yeah.
what was it? Slenderman.
Slenderman.
You and me got so into Slenderman, dude, that we made a freaking YouTube video about it.
Blenderman. Yeah.
Blenderman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, the only way that's scared. That was like the first YouTube rabbit hole I had gone down. We got fucking red pills. We got cued into the Slenderman, but we couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks, and it doesn't help. Like, Slenderman is scary, I guess, if you're a young teenager, but where we live is why it's so scary. Like in the woods, because you'll be driving down the road, and then I got like a hell of an imagination, especially I work myself up. I can almost hypnotize myself into thinking certain things are real. Like I'm a hypochondriac, you know? But
yeah,
like driving down the road, like imagining if this whole Slenderman thing is real, and once you are aware of his existence, that's when you start to see him, which we became aware of his existence. So I'll be driving down the road, you know, whatever, 16 years old, in the dark, in the woods, no street lights, deep in the woods where we live, and just staring at the trees whizzing by. And imagine if you had seen Slenderman in those trees. And I was just like trying to look at the road, praying I didn't see Slenderman. It's a stupid thing, but you know, it was terrifying. And then we ended up getting over it by just calling him a bitch, and then we made a Blenderman, and then we got over it. But
it's funny that you use the driving thing as the example, because I remember there were like literally weeks where I would be driving at night and I would not look off the road. Like I would refuse to look. Like it's the same thing if you're walking up your driveway like in the middle of the night and like you don't want to skeeve yourself out. Like if you look off the driveway, you're gonna scare the shit out of yourself. But if you just stare at your feet, you're fine. But it was the same thing. Me driving, I refused to look into the woods and look into people's yards because I was like, I'm gonna see something and it's gonna make me think something. And it's gonna freak me out. And it's like there's no good that can come of it, dude. But it's it comes from the whole thing of like the same thing where I was like scared to go in my basement as a kid, where I was like scared of the dark, and now I'm like sitting in my basement with lights flashing in the dark. Like it's all you know. I don't know.
Dude, at the time I was scared of Slenderman. This is also something that fucked me up. So I was at Blake's he was having a bonfire. You know, he used to have fires in his backyard or whatever.
Yeah.
I was talking about Slenderman a few days before that to that group of people and everything. And then they started to fuck with me about the Slenderman thing. And we were out way back there, and they're like, yo, did you hear that? But they were like all dead serious. It was almost like everybody at the whole party was in on it, like 10 people. And I was the only person that wasn't in on it. So like somebody else would walk up the hill and be like, oh man. And like they would already know what was going on. Like they were all texting each other or whatever. And I started to get freaked the fuck out. I'm like, guys, stop fucking with me. Like seriously. They're like, dude, we're not fucking with you. We're serious. And I'm like, this isn't funny. And then I ended up getting so pissed because they were all fucking with me that I ended up leaving, right? And what's his name? I forget who it was. I think it was Pat Flanagan. Had a suit on. You know those suits that I forget what they're called. They look like leaves where you can like lay in a bush and become a bush.
Oh, like a ghillie suit.
Yeah, a ghillie suit. He had a fucking full ghillie suit on as I was walking to my car and scared the fuck out of me, dude. And everyone's like, oh, that fucking scarred me, bro. That was like the worst. They would do cruel shit to me sometimes, that group of people. I'm telling you, man. That was fucked up. But I still remember that.
I remember, so I'm the oldest, and obviously so are you, but not obviously, but I remember
obviously.
I went to sleep before my brother and my sister, and I had the door open, and they snuck into my room, and it was one of those, like, I was like laying on my back, staring at the ceiling. I'm like, what the fuck? And they started making noises. I'm like, okay, this is kind of sketchy. Yeah. And then they grabbed my feet, and then like that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, because like I was awake and I was like listening to all these noises and like they were being quiet. And the problem was I used to do that kind of shit to them, but I was always like be hiding in the closet, just like giggling, and like I'd always give myself up because I knew the payoff was coming, but I'd always fucking blow it because I'd be so excited to like just jump out and like whip something at my brother and scare the shit out of him or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, terrifying.
Speaking of terrifying, you ever see a Terrifier or Terrifier 2?
No. What are those?
That's like a very gory clown killing people. It's It's kind of like a cult thing right now.
No, are you talking about a movie?
Yeah, it's called Terrifier.
Okay, Terrifier. And did it just come out?
Terrifier came out a couple years ago. Terrifier 2 came out, I believe, end of last year.
Huh. Okay. Is this why there was a big trend of people dressed up like clowns for a little while? Remember that?
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, because you probably recognize the face paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, but no, I never saw that. Is it like a ghost thing, or is it like a guy, an actual dude that just dresses like a clown and kills people?
It's just a guy that's like killing people, but it's like some pretty like brutal kills. Like in one scene, he cuts. There's like a chick hanging upside down from her feet, butt naked.
Yep.
And he saws her from pussy to like all the way through the top of her head, and like saws her in half. It's like it's very graphic, very graphic.
Horrible, nasty. I don't even like to think about that. Oh.
Yeah, it's intense, and they cut to it every couple seconds, but yeah, it's pretty practical effect heavy. So yeah,
I don't like gore when it's super realistic like that. Like cartoonish action movie gore, I'm cool with, but when they get all technical, where it becomes almost like a biopsy, like scientific looking, like this could be an actual human body, it kind of grosses me out, you know?
Yeah,
like. Kill Bill, it could be like the whole floor could be filled with blood, and I'm cool with that. But if I like see somebody actually cut somebody's head open and it looks like an actual physical human brain, I'm like, I'm all set, man. I don't want to see that. You know.
I think I've said that on the pod how I watched the second Kill Bill and threw up all over the floor.
Yeah,
because it was so graphic, dude.
Yeah, I'm cool with that type of graphicness though. Like what is it? The movie? Not the movie. The game. The game's like Doom. Super graphic, but cartoonish, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Totally fine with that. But, I don't want to be I'm not a surgeon. I don't want to see the inside of somebody's body.
I think I was playing, maybe it might have been Mortal Kombat with Clive when he was a little kid. Like, and he was very young. Like, I was playing Mortal Kombat probably like 11 or 12, so he must have been like 6 or 7.
Right.
Yeah. I think I remember he threw up once when we were playing video games, and I think that might have been it. I think it might have been Mortal Kombat.
Man,
I think I might have like ripped his head off and like stabbed him with his spine with like Sub-Zero or something, and he just like threw up.
Oh my God. You arm bricks got weak stomachs. I've never thrown up from it, but it's funny, like when you're a little kid and you do that uppercut when you're playing that game, and then they fall down into the spikes. It's like, whoa, gnarly. But now it's like, whatever. It's all desensitized, man. Where you live in a crazy digital world. It's kind of like the first time you see a boob. It's like, whoa, like a still image of a boob. And now it's like, yeah, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So, dude, I don't want to skip over this just because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. And I want to ask if you know anything. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm fucking all over the place. ADHD brain today, but happy Easter, motherfucker.
Oh, right. Happy Easter. It's the
yep.
The bunny bonanza.
Yeah, the bunny bonanza. He hath risen. The cream has risen to the top, my babies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I got a raging cream right now. But it's such a raging cream. But yeah. It's Easter, and did you find any eggs? Did you find any eggs around your house? Did the Easter bunny come pay you a visit there, Rick? Huh? Did he?
I didn't even look, man. I had some deviled eggs today. That's all I needed for Easter.
Oh.
That's all I want.
Fucking deviled eggs will give you the farts, son. Stay away from those.
Jimbo hit me up on the FaceTime video about 5 minutes before I called you, and he was in the middle of a deviled egg bonanza, dude. He was
deviled egg. This is the deviled egg bonanza.
Yeah, man. He was let's just say he was indisposed.
Indisposed? What does that mean? Was he taking a dump?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Like,
I'm taking a shit.
Those deviled eggs, bud, man.
Yeah. So is that like a thing on Easter? You have deviled eggs? Because I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you have diarrhea.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a good tradition. You know, celebrate the rebirth of, or not the rebirth, the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Have a deviled egg and shit your pants. But anyways, got the Easter stuff out of the way. I wanted to ask you about, have you heard of the Restrict Act that they're passing for TikTok?
I saw that it was banned on like Florida universities, but beyond that, I didn't hear anything else about it.
We never even talked about the whole Trump indictment thing, and we're not gonna. I feel like everybody else is gonna cover that and talk about it anyways. So whatever. But not a lot of people are talking about the TikTok ban, and it kind of like goes hand in hand with us because we're actually in media since we have a podcast. And this could potentially fuck with our podcast, what they're passing. So if you're not aware of it, I'll just kind of tell you what the deal is. So they're trying to ban TikTok, right? And it's a bipartisan thing. Like, it's a bipartisan issue. I actually am totally fine with them banning TikTok. Like, I've always thought it was like Chinese malware, spyware, and they're just collecting our data and also reshaping like the youth's minds of America. It's kind of fucking weird that it's not an American social media platform. That's kind of out of our control. It goes hand in hand with the CCP. They can pretend that the CCP has nothing to do with TikTok. That's not true. The way that companies work in China, you know, they're one and the same. The government is the company. That's the way it works in China. It's not like capitalism like we have in America. So TikTok's bad and everything. I'm cool for banning it, right? But the TikTok ban, the Restrict Act is what they're trying to pass, right? So the White House just backed it. Okay, TikTok isn't mentioned once in the entire bill. And basically the bill says you get 20 years in prison if you use a VPN to access a banned app, or they could fine you up to $1 million, or both. These are actually, so if you have you know a VPN, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to make those illegal, and if they find that you have one and you're using it to use TikTok, for example, which would be a banned app, they can put you in jail for 20 years.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And it's actually worse. It's a worse penalty than having child porn. Like if you have a VPN and you're using it for child porn, that would be a less of a sentence than if you're using TikTok with a VPN. So it's also, it gets even crazier than that though, dude, because like I said, the White House just backed this and they want to pass it, and there's Republicans and Democrats, both sides of the aisle, that are backing this bill, right? First of all, that's stricter than China. And then if they decide you're a risk, they could do anything, because here's what's crazy. The bill is exempt from the Freedom of Information requests, like the Freedom of Information Act. So they don't even have to disclose what they think you're guilty of. And it's so vague the way it's written, right? It's they can access anything they want, including like your Ring doorbell, all your digital content, anything that you use online, your devices in your house, your network, everything. They can access it if they feel like you're suspicious or you're at a risk to the government. They can access all of that, and then they can put you in jail for 20 years and not even tell you why. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's bananas how fucked up this is. And it sounds like I'm being like crazy and off the rails, like saying all this stuff, or like over exaggerating what it is. But if you read the bill, like I actually read through the bill, it's fucking wild. And they could like, it's just crazy, dude. So I think people should be aware that there's a big crackdown going on right now for content. Like, let's say, for example, this gives the secretary basically permission to, well, they put you in jail, they can fine you $1 million, they can seize your property, and they can deem any foreign government like an adversary without informing Congress in this bill too. There's no freedom of information. So like if we did an interview with someone in Pakistan, like on our podcast, they could say it's dangerous or like is risky to the government of the United States. They're like the enemy now, basically, is what the government's saying. So they could use our podcast as an excuse to access all of our devices and digital content, and then they could lock us up without a trial, and they don't have to tell anybody, including us, why they did it. Is basically what this is. So wake the fuck up, people. What do you think, dude?
That's bananas. I don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But I don't want to make it political or anything.
Like Donkey Kong, baby.
I don't want to make it political or anything, but it is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Nobody's covering it. Nobody's fucking talking about it. And we have a podcast, so people should know. It's fucked up. It's basically the fucking Patriot Act for the internet, but worse, on steroids. So yeah, suck my dick, shoot it down. The White House shouldn't be backing it, but whatever. It is what it is.
It's crazy how they can like jump to that because of freaking TikTok. Like,
well, that's the thing. They're using TikTok as an excuse. The word TikTok's not even in the bill once. It's just like a way to get people on both sides for passing it. It's not for TikTok. It's to spy on us. It's all it is.
Yeah, it sounds like another inside job that involved certain things, and
yeah, it's just another way for them to take away our rights. But,
you know, yeah, you know when's the last time American citizens have been controlled into making a decision they didn't want to make, and then bitching about it 15 years later?
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
22 years later.
Oh, the war? You talking about September 11th?
Talking the war.
Yeah, weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of cream destruction on this week on CPS. Yeah.
Creamy.
cream. But yeah. So anyways, that's it for the political segment on Cream Pie Sunday. Back to the show. Dude, what do you think about astrology?
I mean, I know there's stars out there, but I've never really dived into it. I know that was more of like a you and Jimbo discussion.
No, not astronomy, astrology.
The hell's astrology?
You know, like Capricorn, Pisces, that type of shit.
Oh, I know nothing about that. I know like I'm right on the cusp of like two of them, but I don't believe in any of that crap.
Okay. All right. Well, that answers that question. It's funny because it's definitely like, I think it's bullshit, but it's funny how many people that aren't religious are looking for something to believe in, I guess. But then you read it sometimes and sometimes it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes it's just barely obscure and vague enough where it could fit into anybody, kind of. But if you like read, well, this month you'll be going through this, or, you know, or like you're born in March, so your personality is more like this, you know?
Yeah, I put that in the same category as getting your palm read or opening a fortune cookie.
Yeah.
I feel like that has the same weight to it.
Okay, well, we're in the same
There's
boat.
there's a place across from my gym, and every time Emily drops me off and picks me up, like when she goes to kickboxing or whatever, we'll cross it, and she goes, "Wow, we should really go get our fortunes told one time." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know we should," knowing damn well I will never step foot in that building.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? This like lady has like signs in her yard saying, "Stop, park your car at my house, and I will read your fortune." Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I'm sure you see crazy shit like that all the time in California when you're out there too.
Not so much like gypsy fortune teller stuff, but
what a jip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess down at the beach and stuff, they have like people that will read your palm or read your taint and tell you, you know, what you're gonna eat for dinner next Tuesday or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But
you ever make a voodoo doll for the kid that was picking on you at school?
No. I didn't really get picked. I got picked on a couple of times, but not really. I didn't really get picked on. Did you?
Nah. Well, I got picked on, but I never made a doll.
Did your dad used to give you swirlies?
Essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So you never made a voodoo doll for the bully?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. What prompted you to ask me that?
Oh, I don't know. I thought we were just talking about bullies for a minute.
Yeah. Fucking bully mammoth over here.
There was this is very, very random, but there was, I think it was the 2 weeks before 6th grade.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks before summer ended, I fell asleep with my hand in a fist, and I would sleep on my stomach and my hand on my sternum. So when I woke up, I couldn't open my hand because my fucking hand was like locked in time.
Yep.
And so every day for 2 weeks leading up to school starting, my dad was like, "You got to stop sleeping like this because you can't go to school with your fucking hand in a fist." I'm like, "I don't know what you want me to tell you, dude. Like, I'm not doing this on purpose." And so what he would do is he would put my hand, we had a hot tub in our sunroom. So like I would put my hand in the hot tub for like 20 minutes and it would just like be stuck like that. And I'd like slowly open it and it would die, like it would kill. Oh. And my dad would come over and he's like, "Oh, is your hand any better?" I'm like, "Well, here, look at it." And he would just grab my hand and just like rip my fingers open and it would hurt so bad. But like it would fix it and it would go away. It was just
wild.
Like, I don't know why you thought it like made me think of that, but like I remember for 2 weeks and it was like the day before school started, I stopped doing it. But my dad was like, "You're gonna go to school with a freaking like a mitten on your hand because you look like a dumbass."
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Like sleeping and in certain positions. I would say most mornings my left hand is numb when I wake up, like completely numb, and it doesn't matter if I'm sleeping on my back or my side or what. And it's like, you know, when you first wake up, like you can't really move some of your fingers in one of your hands. Like it's like my left hand every fucking day for years. I don't know what the hell it is, but has it been since like your back surgery? No. Luckily it's all my lower back, so that'd be like my legs. It wouldn't affect my arms really. It's not the same nerve, but yeah, no, it hasn't been since my back surgery, but it's been like, I don't know, 5 years. But sometimes I'll wake up and my arm will be completely dead. Like can't move it or feel it all, from the shoulder down, all the way down. It's like a dead arm. And I'm sure this happens to people sometimes, right? The way they sleep, it like cuts the nerve off or the blood or whatever the fuck it is. But I'm a fucking hypochondriac. I wake up in a panic because I can't feel one of my limbs. So I always stand up like, "Oh," and I'll be like running around my room, like trying to get my arm to come back to life. And then after like 2 minutes of freaking out, I calm down, I sit on the bed and I let it come back to life. And it feels like a million fire ants are like crawling under my skin. You know, like the nerve coming back online feeling, like the prickly, picky sort of feeling under your skin. It hurts like a motherfucker and it comes back and it's like tingling and it's like, there you are. Then I could start to feel it a little bit again. Dude, the worst was one time it happened to both my arms. I woke up and both my arms were numb. So I was just in my room, like swinging them around back and forth, just going, like half asleep, freaking out. And I couldn't move either of my arms. I tried to run to my door to open the door, and I just smashed into my door and realized I was stuck in my room because I couldn't grab my door handle. So then I just laid on the floor with both my arms not working. And eventually they came back. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. What was it? I had something on my mind. Oh, no, I forgot it. I had it in my mind the whole time and I lost it.
I'm sorry. I rambled too long. I made you lose your thought there, guy.
Oh, no, I remember now. Okay. So, Cody's, his uncle's house where like, you met me there one time, like over 4th of July or something. But, we went, kayaking one year and the kayak I was in, like I was like too big for it. And like my legs were like all the way to the front of the cone, but my legs were actually bowed backwards. So my knees were hyperextended the whole time I was in the kayak and I couldn't tell. I just barely could tell that I barely fit my ass in this thing.
Yeah.
So when I get out of being in this thing for like, I don't know, it couldn't have been more than an hour. I get out and like right there, you have to walk up like this big ass hill just to get up to his cabin or whatever.
Yep.
And, dude, it was fucking terrifying. Like my legs hurt so bad, but like I was able to like push through the pain, but like my legs were like paralyzed, dude. Like I was like trying with all my might to take like these huge steps just to like barely drag my foot forward like 2 inches. I was panicking, dude. Mm-hmm. Like because all the tendons in my knees and like my whole like lower extremities were like all screwed up. I was freaking, and I got up to it took me like 5 minutes to go up this hill, which like usually would take me 30 seconds. I get up there and everybody starts drinking and shit, and I had to lay down on the couch and like I couldn't straighten my legs out. I couldn't bend my legs. I had to keep like doing the worm on like the couch because like that was the only thing that like felt fine. And like, dude, I had to take like a 2-hour nap. I was such a bitch about it, but dude, my legs hurt so bad. But it was all because that freaking kayak like was just not built for somebody my size, and I put myself in an awful situation, dude.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, freaked me out, dude. Like the fact,
it's
just
weird.
the feeling of it was like being paralyzed is the only thing I compare it to, because literally I was trying with all my might to get up this hill and my legs just weren't working, and I almost got to the point of like getting on my hands and knees and crawling up this hill, and it was terrifying, dude. It was weird as hell.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's funny. You just like if you just move the wrong way or stay in a position you're not supposed to be in it for too long, shit like that can happen. It's kind of wild. The body is a weird. It's a fickle bitch, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I got a bartending job and I quit it because I didn't want to drive that far. I went to the orientation and everything, and it took me like 50 minutes to get there with traffic. And I'm like, I drove past about 100 bars on the way here, so I'm just going to go somewhere closer. And I just haven't showed up.
Did you say 50?
50, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude,
with
that's
traffic.
not fucking worth it.
Yeah, I was only going to be like 2 days a week, too. I'm like, I'm not going to drive almost an hour to bartend twice a week. Like I said, I passed a bunch of bars on the way, but they're all pumped to have me there. And it was actually a huge group of people because they're opening this giant restaurant. It's brand new. Like they just built it. And I was a part of the team that was going to be opening the restaurant. And then I just didn't go back because I went to orientation and haven't been back. So I haven't got a text or anything. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure like 10% of people just didn't show up the second day. You know how it works.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see the Super Mario movie tonight.
That's dope, dude. Yeah, I wanted to go see that, but I'll probably just watch it on my TV instead.
Going to see it in IMAX.
That's going to be an adventure, dude.
Hopefully it's good. I didn't want to see it, but I heard it was kind of funny, so we'll check it out. We'll see how it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Any other creamy delights you want to suck on before we close this bitch out and send her home? Ride her wet and put her away wet, or ride her... Anything else you want to say?
No, man, I'm good. I mean, usually we recap with what we're working on, but I mean, I've been editing a video and watching Chronicles of Riddick, so that's how my fucking mood is right now.
Yeah, right. All right, cool.
We can call it early, baby.
Well, another week, another cream fest, folks. You fucking heard it here first. So, put that in your ass and smoke it, and we'll see you in a week.
Cream.